Welcome! I am Public Enemy Numero Uno, and thank you so much for watching this. Today I want to talk about trying to use the hunting trap. This item is pretty self-explanatory. It's a trap that's supposed to be used for hunting. Fascinating. In the context of the game, it can be technically useful. Taking a look at the item on pages 150 and 152, it's not really that convenient. It costs 5 gold and weighs 25 pounds. That kind of weight adds up quickly. While its overall size could be carryable, the weight is rather extreme, and the space could be better spent for loot gathering or carrying around, say, 50 potions of healing. Carrying capacity in this game is weird. The rules for the item are thus. When you use your action to set it, this trap forms a sawtooth steel ring that snaps shut when a creature steps on the pressure plate in the center. The trap is affixed by a heavy chain to an immobile object such as a tree or a spike driven into the ground. A creature that steps on the plate must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or take 1d4 piercing damage and stop moving. Thereafter, until the creature breaks free of the trap, its movement is limited by the length of the chain, typically 3 feet long. A creature can use its action to make a DC 13 strength check, freeing itself or another creature within its reach on a success. Each failed check deals 1 piercing damage to the trapped creature. There are a few notable things to pay attention to for the sake of rules. First, it is not designed to be a damage dealer. It deals 1d4 damage with the possibility of pinging 1 point at a time. It is meant to be functional and to stop a creature's movement, not kill it in a snap. Second, it requires an action to set it, but nothing is mentioned to affix the trap's chain. It assumes that it happens automatically. This sort of hand waving isn't a big deal. The only thing I worry about is the situation of you using your action to set the trap. It works, but the creature just walks away as the DM points out that you never stated that your character affixed the chain. And the only thing that restricts a character's movement is the chain. Be aware. Although I personally would give the benefit of the doubt to the player, as I am aware that the character would have been more aware than the player who is not currently trying to handle the hunting trap. Third, I find it rather curious that there is no size limit offered to the item. Other items like the net specify limitations according to the creature's size, but the hunting trap does not. This implies that it could literally stop something as big as a dragon from moving more than 3 feet from a spot, and it would have to use an action to escape the trap. For 5 gold, not a bad deal. The trick is to have the dragon land or walk on it somehow, let alone fail the saving throw. Fourth, trying to get something to step on it might be harder than it looks. Unlike the rules for some traps found on pages 122 to 123 of the Dungeon Master's Guide, there are no rules for spotting it, which means that it is easy to spot. What's more, it doesn't offer any rules to hide it, so it is literally up to the DM on how to handle that. Personally, I would have whoever is hiding it make a wisdom survival check and have the result be the DC to discover the trap. The best strategy to use the hunting trap is placing the trap in locations of constrained movement like a narrow passageway. In combat, using a hunting trap on stairwells, doorways, or additional passageways that act as choke points is useful to control the battlefield. As to fun things to do with the trap, that's a bit harder to create rules for. Trying to use the trap as a makeshift net by throwing it at a creature as an improvised weapon could work. First, you have to use an action to set the trap, then use your attack action. On top of that, you need to activate the triggering plate on the creature. Very unlikely. I don't even know if imposing disadvantage would be sufficient. Not to mention that if the plate is triggered, the creature could still escape the trap with a successful dexterity saving throw, negating the entire attack and wasting nearly 2 actions. Not ideal. On the other hand, it is a heavy spring device. Using the motion of the snapping jaws to spring an even larger trap could be a lot of fun. However, trying to hide that would be an impressive feat. Okay, now I'm running out of ideas. I encourage you to try and think of something. I would love to hear it. With that, please comment down below as I would love to hear more ideas or criticisms. Thank you again for watching my video and have an enjoyable day.